Hey everybody, welcome back to part 2 of my Xbox 360 game collection. And just want to let you guys know part 1 has already been uploaded, and the link will be annotated right now or in the description. So go check that out first if you haven't already. And let's get started here with stack number 2 of my 360 games. So let's get started here. First up on the top here, Guitar Hero 3. I really liked the guitar that came with this, the Les Paul, I believe, and it had a great feel to it, definitely better than the Guitar Hero 2 guitar, and that it was wireless was also awesome. This game has very forgiving track patterns, and what I mean by that is the time you have to click the button is a lot larger than, like, let's say Rock Band, but the songs are still harder in this. You kind of have to be really good at Guitar Hero to understand what I'm saying, but there are a lot of hard songs. There's a lot of good songs in here too, and you can actually play 2-player on this one, but I'd still prefer Rock Band over Guitar Hero nowadays. Next up here is Guitar Hero 2. This one was, I believe this is the last one that Harmonix made. Yeah, Harmonix still made this one, and then they made Rock Band games after this. So for all the people out there who debate about Guitar Hero being better than Rock Band, well, people Rock Band did make Guitar Hero, so they kind of win at both. Yeah, the songs aren't as good in this one because a lot of them are covers, or they're not the originals. They're not the masters, but it's still a fairly decent game. And you can get all these Guitar Hero games super cheap now. Just if you want, there might be a couple songs in there, and it's probably worth $5 at least. Next up is Golden Axe. I only played a little bit of it, and I didn't like it too much, so I don't have much to say about that. Next up, Grand Theft Auto 4. I love the collector's edition that came with this. I originally bought this when it came out, but I didn't get the special edition. I picked it up just recently, actually, and it's not my cup of tea, Grand Theft Auto, but I appreciate what it is. It's just not my kind of game. Next up is Ghostbusters, the video game. This is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I like the art style to it and the way the game plays. It's pretty fun to play, actually. If you're a Ghostbusters fan, I would recommend this. It's pretty good. The voice acting is fairly decent as well. Next up is, how can you even see this? I guess I can show you like that. Gears of War 3. This is the Epic Edition, the one that came with the statue. The case is kind of, it's supposed to look like it's a disc from the game or something like that, like some kind of files, but there's no really way to tell that it's from the game unless you look at the side. But now let's talk about the game, actually. Gears of War 3, it's probably the most content-packed game in the series, probably that's come out this entire year. Value-wise, I think it's one of the best. It's got story mode, which is excellent. It's got co-op, which is awesome, and it's 4-player. It's got horde mode, which is amazing. It's got beast mode, it's got multiplayer, and they're always adding new playlists, game type, weapon skins, all sorts of stuff like that. And DLC is constantly coming out, especially if you're a season pass member, which I am. I'm always getting all sorts of new DLC stuff, so it's awesome. Next up, Gears of War 2. Probably, well, out of the 3, this is, I wouldn't say it's my least favorite, but, because I love all of them, but it's definitely not the best one. And I would say Gears 3 is, I don't know. I love all the Gears games, but just go get all of them. It doesn't, I'm not even going to say anything that's going to change your mind. Just go get them. Gears of War 1, when I originally, I will say about this though, when I originally did see this, I saw like the very early stuff that we saw at E3, I believe, very early, where the game looked a little different than it does now. I thought, when I saw it, I was like, it looks just like another sci-fi shooter. And when I saw the Mad World trailer on TV, my jaw nearly dropped, and that's what made me want to play this. Like, that whole trailer, that's probably one of my favorite trailers of all time, and it's just awesome. So, go play Gears of War 1. You'd be surprised how good the graphics still are today in this game. They hold up very well. It's very nice looking game. But it's really good too. Next up, Forza 2. I actually have another copy of this in here somewhere. But Forza 2, it's actually a fairly decent racing simulator game. I don't have any of the newer Forza games, but I did play this one a lot. I believe I actually completed the entire thing, which took me a long, long time. And what was kind of cool is I would kind of cheap out on some of them. You can like hire drivers in the game, and I kind of did that on some of them. Like I'd go out to like McDonald's or something and have a driver drive for me. So I kind of cheated like that. I mean, it's not cheating because it's part of the game. They take part of your credits that you would earn, but I just did that every once in a while. Next up, Final Fantasy XIII. I did not pay $54, I'll tell you that. But, yeah. A lot of people say you have to go like 20 hours to actually get to the game, and I'm not going to spend 20 hours just to get to the game. That's just ridiculous. So I kind of gave up on that one. FIFA 06, nothing to say about that. Did it for that. Achievements. Fear 3. I haven't gotten around to playing this one yet, but I want to. I heard it's really great. And I believe you can do co-op, yes. And I have a friend who just got this, so we're going to be doing co-op through that. Next up is Fear. And this is also a very, very scary game. I actually turned it off a few times while I was playing it, and I didn't save it because I didn't want to play anymore. It was too scary. So, yeah, if you love horror games, this is probably one of the scariest ones. There's a lot of jump scenes and stuff like that. So, the online was actually pretty fun when I played it too. Next up, Far Cry 2. I didn't like how every gun you basically picked up in this game was rusted. It's a very open game though, but I just felt that like if an enemy was using a gun perfectly against me and then I instantly pick it up, it's like rusted and it doesn't work. I just didn't like that part of it, so I just stopped playing it. And Far Cry Predators, I didn't even play this one actually, so I have no opinions on that right now. Fallout 3, I played a little bit of it, but it kind of depressed me. A lot of brown and gray in this game, and I respect what Bethesda does, but this is just not my style of gaming, and I will admit it. Just because, same kind of reason why I'm not a huge fan of Oblivion. Something about it, I just don't, it doesn't fit with me. I fit more with the Fable games, like Fable 3, or Fable 2. Fable 2 is probably one of my favorite games on the 360. I had a blast playing this game. Just because a game is a little more linear than, like, since Fallout 3 is obviously more open than, like, a Fable game, doesn't mean Fable's bad. They're different RPGs, and I think Fable gets a lot of hate that it shouldn't, and it's an excellent series. I would definitely recommend checking out Fable. Next up, Enchanted Arms. Another one of those games that is not my style. I played it for about 20 minutes and I realized, oh shoot, this is a grid-based game. I'm done. And that was my experiences with Enchanted Arms. Let's move this stack. Yeah, let's push it over there. Next up, Eat Lead. It's a game that basically just makes fun of the games that come out. Like, you'll see lots of parodies and stuff like that in here. Actually, let's move this stack up here. Okay, next up, Earth Defense Force. Insect Armageddon. I played only like an hour of this one. I just basically went through and just had fun with my friend. We were just playing through, just beating up on each other. We weren't even really killing the insects. We were just trying to pin each other down and let the bugs kill each other. So that was what we did in that. Next up is Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit. Definitely a fairly good Dragon Ball Z fighting game, and I haven't played any of the newer ones, and I really want to. I heard that the newest one's pretty decent. It's got a lot of characters, I know at least. But these look pretty good. They look almost just like the cartoon, which is awesome. Or the anime, I should say. Next up is Death Smiles, which is a bullet hell shooter game, which means there's tons of bullets on the screen. It gets pretty crazy, but it's really fun, too. I definitely had a blast playing it. The faceplate that came with the game is pretty cool, too, so I'd recommend going getting the special edition. It's not that expensive. Next up, Dead Space 2. One of my favorite series on the Xbox 360. Great survival horror games. And I'll just talk about the first Dead Space here. This game blew me away. I went into it kind of like Batman, with low expectations or no expectations at all. and I played it. Totally awesome. It's one of those games that when it came out, it was completely under the radar, and I know for a long time, it was actually kind of hard to find in the stores, used at least. And I know that the used sales on this just totally blew the game sales out of the water. Like, it was like 10-1, something crazy like that. So a lot of people played it, and that's why they made a sequel to it. Next up, Dead Rising 2. I have the special edition for this, and I actually haven't even opened it. I also have the special edition for Dead Space 2. Wish I had that special edition for Dead Space 1. But I have the special edition for this, and didn't really like this game too much. I'll be honest, they didn't fix any of the problems that were with the first one. So I'd rather just play the first one. I mean, the only better thing about Dead Rising 2 is you can craft weapons, kind of. You can mix them together and you make a different weapon, but that's about it, really. At least from my playing experience, and that there's co-op, but the co-op doesn't even work that great, so what's the point? Dead Rising, obviously. I had a blast playing that, killed tons of zombies playing that game. Put a lot of time into it. Next up, Deadly Premonition. I'm actually doing a playthrough of this on my Nash Time channel, and so far the controls suck, but the story mode is kind of weird, but it's kind of interesting at the same time, so I have to give that a little more time to give better opinion on that. Next, Dark Sector. Didn't play too much of it, have no opinions on that. Same with Dark Messiah. I only played a little bit of it, and I can't give an opinion on it. Next up, Crash Bandicoot Clash of the Titans. This is actually not that bad of a Crash Bandicoot game, and if you're wanting to get a newer Crash Bandicoot, I recommend it. It's pretty decent, so go check that out. So there you guys go. That is part 2 of my Xbox 360 game collection. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you come back and check out part 3, which should be up in a day or two. Also, if I get to 5,000 subscribers before September, I will be giving away a brand new Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3, so subscribe and maybe tell a friend to subscribe. I'm also doing giveaways on my other 2 channels. On my Nash Time, I'm doing, if I get 1,000 before July, I'm giving away a brand new Hauppauge HD PVR, and on my Nash Tech, if I get 1,000 before July, I'm giving away a brand new iPod Touch. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you come back and check out part 3.